Good morning, all. Today's class is on our second unit, and we are discussing about in this second unit majorly the tools that are involved in that are concentrating over descriptive statistics. So I already told you earlier what about this descriptive analytics means. So descriptive analytics means whatever the analysis we are going to do, it's describing certain situation, right? So whatever that the particular activity already held, we have analyzed that thing and we have described it, that what happened exactly after analyzing a data, right? So the major topics that we're going to have discussed in this particular unit are, that is on your screen right now. We're going to discuss about populations and samples, then measures of locations, measures of dispersion, measures of shape, then Excel descriptive statistics tools that I already told you. This particular subject, data analytics, 80% of the part is involved Excel, and maximum of it we have to take it from the statistics only. So whatever we have did in the statistics, now we have to see, we have to learn that how we're going to have implement the same formula into an Excel sheet. Then descriptive statistics for group data, descriptive statistics for categorical data, statistics in pivot table, measures of association, outliers, and the last one, statistical thinking in business decisions. So first, we're going to have discussed today about population and samples. Right? So population and sample, this is the topic that we're going to have discussed today. And we're going to discuss about the different concept of statistics, uh, how to implement or how to put it that concept into the Excel sheet. So mainly we're going to have start today the locations or measures of location also, right? So first we're going to have discuss about population, all item of interest for a particular decision or investigation. Like for example, all married drivers over 25 years of old, all subscribers to Netflix. So population is what? So whatever the particular population that we have to analyze about our studies, or if you want to investigate something over it, then if we're going to take an each and every particular item of interest from that particular population, then we have covered the all particular items in a particular investigated area. So that is called the population. For example, if I want to analyze over subscribers of Netflix, for example, I want to study something over their particular behavior or interest over certain kind of areas. So what I should have to do then, I'm going to connect with the Netflix database from where whatever the numbers will be there in millions, that all numbers I should have to take from the data, and I'm going to have research over it, right? When all the items of interest for a particular decision or investigation we're going to take, then that is called the population. Normally, in our studies, population studying a population is quite difficult because every researcher have their own limitation. Because if you're going to have research over something, then you need a lot of resources to collect that data. For example, whenever our government is going for census in the sense when they are going to have count over how many population is there all over the country, then what they should have to do, what should they have to do? They have to deploy all the necessary particular infrastructure of the government to count that particular population. They have to hire the officials, they have to deploy the particular uh, salaries, different types of resources they require, financial, uh, human resource, and then uh, they need a lot of other infrastructure also for providing the facility to the this kind of people. Those are going to people to person about to get the data, right? So getting the research over a population is quite difficult because each and every population item, if you're going to have take, then you need a resources. But the benefit is what? You're going to get a right kind of analytical results, right? So the another example that sorry, the another concept that is on your screen is sample. Sample is what? When the population is very high and it is not possible for the researcher to include each and every item of a particular research area, then what they should have to do? Then they have to take a sample. Sample is what? It's a representation of sample is a what? Sample is a representation of population, right? So what we should have to do then, we have to make a subset of that population. We have to then small subset we have to make up of population according to our own need, right? Now what happened, population includes each and every item, and based on your own interest. For example, that is on right now on screen, a list of individuals who rented a comedy from the Netflix in the past year. So in the population, what we have an example of all subscribers to Netflix. So if I want to study over the particular subscriber, those are more interesting toward the comedy serials or comedy movies, then what I should have to do? For me, hiring or subscribing, or you can say collecting a data for all the Netflix subscriber is not feasible. Then why I should have to pay a particular amount or resources for all subscriber to Netflix? My major concentration is now over what? The people or the subscriber, those have rented a comedy from a Netflix in the past year, right? I just want to analyze their behavior. I just want to describe a particular behavior of an subscriber, right? So for that purpose, I will going to have take that comedy part only. So that is a sample, a subset of a population. The purpose of sampling is to obtain a sufficient information to draw a valid inference about a population. So the major purpose, or you can say the major thing, the point that we all have to consider or we have to take care of is what? That sample should be representation of the population. If that sample is not exactly the representation of the population, then the inferences in the sense, the kind of you can say the detailed information that came out from that particular sample after analysis, then it will not be effective, right? For example, if I want to analyze a young generation's preference toward the fashion of a particular area, what exactly they are interested to wear, right? What kind of apparels they are more interested to wear, what kind of, you can say, looks they are preferring. If I am not able to get the right kind of sample representation, then what happens? The results that will come out from the particular analysis will not be exactly that what we want, right? So researching a population is very effective, right? But as per our own researches, if we want something specific from the population, then we need a representation of that population, right? And that representation, if it will not be exactly what the population is showing or inhibiting, then it's quite difficult for you to draw a valid inferences about a population, right? So this is all about population and sample, right? Now we're going to have take care of what exactly this statistical uh, concept that we're going to take today. First one is measures of location, right? In that measures of location, what does that mean? Because in this particular analysis, whether we're going to have discussed about mean, mode, median, we already have, most of you have heard about these concepts or even know also. But the major thing that we all have to take care in today's class is what? We have to see that how we're going to have implement this particular concepts on Excel sheet, right? So what does that mean? Measures of location. It means that it's clearing out a particular, can say, it's describing a particular position of a particular item, right? For example, if I'm going to talk about the mean is considered to be the center of a particular data or an average of a particular data, right? Revolving around the particular center. Median is also the location of a particular data, right? And mode also. Mode means the highest frequency that is vibrating in a particular data, right? So that repetition is also considered as a mode. So here, what exactly we are doing? We are working over the particular sample of population and we are working over the particular locations of the item. If I'm talking about the mean, if I'm talking about the mode, if I'm talking about the median, then what it is representing? It's representing a location of a particular item, right? So that is the major thing that we're going to have understand in today's class. Uh, okay, so here that is on your screen. The upper two formulas are statistical one, that is mu is the population mean, that is average of xi, that is our items, upon total number of population size, right? That is capital N. If you're going to have think about sample of an observation, if you're talking about sample, first formula is about population, right? This one. Then this one is the formula of sample, where we have connote mean by x bar. Here we are population mean is connoted by mu, right? Here it represent by x bar. Then the same thing is there. Only the change is what? In place of n, we have small n that representing the n observations of sample. Here it's representing an observation of particular population. So Excel function is what you should have to type average on in a particular Excel sheet. Then we have to define the data range, and then mean value will come. Here in property of the mean is what xi minus x bar is 0. It means that it is exactly in the center. That difference is 0. And one more thing is there, outliers can affect the value of the mean. That is also the important point that we're going to have discussed in this particular class. First, we're going to have discussed about this one particular data is there on your screen where you want to calculate the average of cost per order. So average in the sense, we just want to know that how much cost we are going to have be over a order for a certain period of time. Average is basically what? Average is telling us that what exactly we have particular our particular variation is there around which value, right? For example, you have taken average of your subject marks also. It means that in a particular 4 semester average, how much marks you have got, right? It will give you a kind of your uh, performance limitation that up to that plus minus your marks is there, right? So we're going to have discussed in our next class also. The major thing is what? Inferences. Inferences means what exactly that values are telling to us. Whatever we are studying right now, the same thing I'm going to repeat you all. Listen it very carefully. Whether it's a statistical tool, whether we are using any kind of analytical tool, it's a prescriptive or predictive, whatever it is there, every results will come in certain numbers, right? We have got certain value. Even if I'm going to have calculate the average, if I'm going to calculate a mean, mode, median, whatever it is there, every value will come in certain numbers, but it is not useful for us. The major thing is what? How we're going to have describe or that inference will come from that value. That is the major thing for us, that we should all have to learn that what exactly that values are conveying to us, what is that message that we are getting from that value. That is the major thing that we all have to learn. Calculation is okay. Without calculation, it's not possible for you to get that values. But the major thing in this analytical studies is what? How we're going to have summarize that values. What does that mean of that value, right? So that is a major thing that we have to learn in today's class. So, and I think in every class we're going to have work over that only. One class we're going to have take over about a particular calculation. Next we're going to have discuss over the meaning of that particular items, right? So here we're going to have one data in front of you on your screen where they have calculated or cost per order, right? And this is the one formula, statistical formula for a particular sample mean. Okay, so here we have certain formulas that we're going to have put it over a particular Excel sheet. So I'm going to have take a very simple values, not that much from the data that you have right now in front of you. So I'm going to have open again the Excel sheet. I will take here just one data, that is I'll 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Up to 16 I have, well, I will take one in, this is for example, this is the values it's representing. We have took it from somewhere as a value from our research. Now what we should have to do first, there is what is that uh, formula for average mean? That summation of xi. So right, so what is that? This is the items xi. This one, these values are xi. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to sum it, right? So what is this formula that is called sum? Then I have to define the range. Okay, then close bracket. Now this particular formula is able to add all the values in a particular column, right, up to certain rows. Now I have to divide it. Now what is that? N is number of items. So what I should have to do, then again I'm going to have use one formula, count, then start bracket, then again I have to define that particular range, then bracket close, and now see here the value, that mean value, arithmetic mean value is 8.5. So this is one of the formula according to our formula of statistics, summation xi upon number of items, right? Now one more formula is there in statistical, in this Excel, is what, where we're just going to have put an equal to sign, then type average, then type average, and then bracket start, then define the range, close the bracket, then enter. Now see, both the values are same, but we have calculated it in a different way, right? So that's the way through which we have to understand that how we're going to have implement or fix the formulas in an Excel sheet of this particular concept. So computing mean is not much difficult. We all know about it, that mean is an formula for calculating the average of a particular data. So that is the major thing, right? So here in front of you, the same thing that they have did. First, they have applying a formula that we have did, right? Sum, define the range. Then we have count, means the number of items they have count. They will able to count it in a particular column, right? The same concept is going to applicable again with the help of the formula of average, right? So this is the way through which we can able to calculate the mean. We are discussing right now over the measures of location. So first measures of location is mean. Then second, we're going to have discuss about a median. Median is finding the median cost per order, right? The same formula they have took, the same data they have took for that calculation. Median is what? It's the middle value of the data when arranged from least to greatest, right? Sort the data in the column. Here again they have tell us about uh, certain values, right? Now for the median, there is a one concept that is written over here. If the data have a value where the mid value, we are going to get the exact mid value, the median will be able to calculate. And if that is an even number, and we have two median values, then average of both will count as a median value, right? So for that also we have certain formulas. Okay, but first we're going to have discuss over how we're going to have calculate a median. So it's not uh, difficult to calculate it. We have the same thing. Uh, we want to calculate the median. The same is in the Excel. We have a one median, right? Then start the bracket, select the range, then enter. Now see the same value, median also 8.5. Okay, so this is the way through which we can calculate the median. So not much difficult to calculate in a particular data, right? Now the next one is mode, right? Today I'm going to have tell you how to calculate these measures of location. Then in our next class, we're going to have discuss over the inferences in the sense, uh, what is the meaning of that particular value that came out from a particular data as a mean, mode, median, and any other concepts of measures of location, right? So mode is also here. What is that mode means? Observations that occurs most often or for grouped data, the group with the greatest frequency. So mode is exactly what, when something is going to have happening a number of times, right? So it will consider as a mode. I have showed you all one histogram particular concept earlier also. This one, right? In this histogram, we can able to know. Just see here, frequency is written here in front of you on the Excel sheet, right? So what is that mode here? The maximum frequency that vibrated here is 55, 11, right? So mode we can able to calculate with the help of tool, that is a histogram, where we can able to calculate the particular observation that occurs most, right? Most often it's repeating. That is the mode. So here I will make one particular example. Uh, right, one but data I have took as a sample, right? Now in statistics, there is a one formula for mode also, simple. We'll have to write the mode, then packet, then we're going to have select a particular range, then enter. Now see here, the 23 is the particular value or observation that repeats more frequently, right? If you want to verify it, you can even uh, do it with the help of this. Do just do take that data. We have earlier discussed about the sorting and filtering. here we can sort from smallest to largest. So you can observe here that 23 is the most repeating observation, right? So here we have got the 23 only mode, then we have selected the range, and we have got the 23 figure. So this 23 will here it is quite easy for us to observe the values from the columns, right? But when this same data will be in a large scale, then it's quite difficult for you to find out the particular value just from observing it, right? You need a formula mode, and then we're going to have select the whole range of the particular column, right? So this is all for today's class. Today we're going to have discussed about what we have discussed about measures of location. Under that, we have discussed about mean, mode, and median, and how we're going to have implement the formulas in the MS Excel. One more point is there that I'm going to have given a brief over here today. Is what about outliers. Actually, outliers is the kind of you can say, you see here it's an particular data. This is in highlighting form, same thing. Up to 16 certain observation is there, right? If you're able to observe that all these frequencies, all these observations have not much variating from each other. One difference is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So only the difference is what? 1 between each of them. Then again, but I have put it one value at the last, that is 72. Okay. So if I'm going to have, just see here, if I'm going to have select the whole data up to 72 for calculating average, for example, mean, that is average, then start bracket, then selected the whole data up to 72, then bracket close. Then just see here the mean value is just jumped it from 8.5 to 12.23, right? Outlier, in the sense, outliers means what? Some values are very far from the normal values, and if we're going to have calculate the average of all these values, then the average will be totally different, that it should be there. So what is why we should all have to take care of these outliers? Because if you're not able to find out these outliers, then the values of analytical analysis will be totally different, and if the values will come totally different, then we're going to have summarize it differently, right? So right now I'll just see here, if I'm going to have taken average, if I'm going to have make it this value, instead of 72, if I'm going to have put it a 17, then just see it's 9. So 9 is not much far from the particular average value, right? If 72 will be here, then what happens? Stored from 9, the average value goes to 12 point something, more than 12. So that value, if due to these outliers, our values, analytical values will going to change. And then what happens if the values will going to have changed, then the inferences will totally different, right? That is the reason why this we all have to take care of this outliers, and we have certain formulas also to take care of this outlier in Excel, where we're going to have defined the upper and lower limit, then whatever the outliers will be there, it will clearly highlighted by the particular formula in an Excel, right? That I'm going to have discussed with you the same from concept tomorrow, right? But the same thing I'm going to have repeat today also. You all have to work over this Excel sheet only to get an more and more practice over a particular concept, right? Because this data analytics is majorly depend upon what? On Excel only. Because even whatever the statistical concept we are discussing right now, maximum what we should all have to do here, that how we're going to have put it the statistical concept over an Excel sheet, right? For example, what I showed you right now today, we have did the mean concept in two ways. One, that normal formula that we have, average upon the n numbers, where we have count a particular total sum upon the number, an average will come. So what we have did, we have used the sum formula, and we have then used the count formula, and the same thing we have did with the help of formula, that is average. So that is the major thing that we all have to concentrate over this concept or this subject, that how we're going to have used these particular concepts in an Excel sheet. Okay, so for today's class, it's going to have sufficient. And one more thing that I'm going to have discussed with you people, that just let them others also to understand this particular seriousness of a particular subject, and let them motivate to attend the classes. Right now, I can understand that uh, mm, that even second semester also class exams are going to declare tentative date, but we all have to be continue with these concepts also. Okay, for that purpose, that's why I'm recording sessions also for you people. Okay, right? For today class, I'm going to have stopped right now. Okay, bye. Take care.